Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for SteveArts89. Well, not a lot of Star Trek news happening at the moment. I had a look at TrekMovie.com, and there are a couple of interviews that were interesting. But the only thing really happening at the moment is a company called Bodum is bringing back the classic Picard Teacups from Star Trek The Next Generation. So apparently the cups that they used in the show were from a real company, and I'm guessing they were antiques or recreation antiques or something, but you can basically buy them now and sip your Earl Grey hot tea in these little Bodum teacups. So I don't know, that's cute. I'm not going to buy them because I never like the look of them, but that's cute. I like it when you can buy real props from a show. But the two interviews that were interesting were Zachary Quinto and Jonathan Del Arco. Now, I guess I'll do Quinto because that's a lot quicker. Basically, Quinto was saying, I'm looking forward to making more Star Trek films and playing Spock again. The original actors played the characters multiple times over different generations, well into their 60s, 70s, 80s. So he sees Star Trek as a limitless universe, and that he may well be asked to play Spock in another film or another TV series or something in the near future, and he's open to it, and he looks forward to that sort of opportunity. But it's looking unlikely, because even though Paramount, before they were bought by Skydance, said they were going to make a Star Trek 4, it seemed like they were just being polite in saying that, because they really were actually planning a soft reboot origin film, which, unless it was an origin film of the JJ verse, which would have sort of pushed them back in the direction of that universe and doing another sequel, it really wouldn't make any sense to set up a new universe through this origin story prequel alternative universe and then just go to another established universe. Like, it would seem that they were ending off the other JJ universe to start a new one. It doesn't make much sense to have different films in different universes being created and playing at the same time. So I think at the time it was very unlikely that they were going to do a fourth Star Trek film. They were saying they were going to, but I think they were just being polite and giving the actors the actors I think were being very optimistic. But now everything's been reassessed, and Skydance has basically bought Paramount. Who knows what direction they will take the Star Trek films now. We can't actually count on anything that they've announced prior to the buyout actually happening. But okay, so Jonathan Del Arco did an interesting interview because he was actually involved in Star Trek well before Picard. They were talking about doing a Borg spin-off, and they talked to him and Jerry. And one of the producers who was working with JJ was a friend of his, and it looked like it was going to happen, and he was going to be a major part of it. He had no idea that it was going to become Picard, and he had no idea that his character was going to be killed off. He'd signed his contract before he found out, and he was a bit upset about it. He didn't like it, but he didn't have anything he could do about it. I think he asked why, and they said basically they needed that to happen for the story to be, motivated or progressed or whatever, and they didn't need it. They just wanted some shock value. They just were trying to be Game of Thrones, and they were just bringing characters in just to kill them off, to disrupt fans' comfort level, and they just missed a lot of opportunities, because when Picard did come back in season 3 and they dealt with the Borg, they really could have used Hugh. It could have been really, really great. And the little hug that him and Picard had in the show, that was him. It wasn't in the script. He suggested it. Patrick was open to it. The director loved it, and that's why that happened. But disappointing to see that he took this opportunity on thinking it was going to be a much bigger use of his character and a better opportunity to explore the Borg and his relationship to the Borg now. He sort of had his own sort of history that he had developed, where Hugh had sort of stuck loyally to the Borg that he had freed, and the way that they used the Borg as like an example of the American government not being open to immigration and immigrants and the discrimination that immigrants were suffering from. It's timely, but it's not appropriate for the Federation. The Federation wouldn't have treated the Borg like that. And the idea of the Federation being racist or discriminatory between Seven and the ex-Borgs is maybe some individuals might have been, but the government doing that, and it's not Star Trek, it's not Gene's universe, it's not the future, it's not the Starfleet that we know and love. So it didn't work. So they should have just gone with something that actually made sense. But yeah, so it was just interesting to see his perspective and how he came to the project and what he saw for all of it, and that was interesting. But that's all I had to talk about. I just thought that was interesting. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Star Trek 4 ever happening, and what they could have done with Hugh. And it was quite a loss, but it is an alternative universe. They could always have him come back in the Prime Universe. Not the Prime Universe, that is the Prime Universe. In the original canon universe, the Prime Universe, the Discovery Universe, the Prime canon, they're all 3 different universes. So we could see him again. Depends on what, Paramount does now with Star Trek, now that Skydance has bought it.